my core beliefs practice, which is an added bonus for each of you guys. Now, I touched on building your core beliefs, and I really want to teach you guys my core beliefs process. As beings, especially as entrepreneurs for so many of us, it's important to be aware of the rules, principles, and beliefs that have shaped us and paint the perception of our beliefs experience. What gets to be true for you? What's important to you in your business? The center of who we are and how we experience the world. It is our opportunity to make the rules, to set the tone, and to curate the vibes of our own businesses, of our soul's passions, of our purposes, of our side hustles, and especially for those of us who are still in our 9-to-5 or maybe are committed to our 9-to-5. A lot of you guys have that entrepreneurial spirit. And so this isn't just for you if you have your own business. This can be for anyone. It is super important for you guys to identify what your core beliefs are and constantly reevaluate those and come back to, edit, and pivot as needed. So I want to point out the C.O.R.E. beliefs. This is my process for really starting to identify and realign with your personal core beliefs instead of just taking what others have provided for you. So the C in core stands for the center of who we are and how we experience the world. So I encourage you to do a meditation or a journaling practice or pull a card and dive into the center of who you are and how you experience the world. And write out maybe a thesis statement for yourself of who you are at the center, at the core, and how you experience the world. Then I encourage you to ask the question, in what way could you shift this into a more aligned practice? So how we experience the world is often where this really fixates. What that means is that you get to choose how you experience the world. If we're circling back to the expression of, oh, I'm an unlucky person, maybe when you're writing about the center and core of who you are and how you experience the world, unlucky comes up for you. But you get to choose what your experience of the world is. So after you've written this out or meditated on this or done a guided visualization on this, ask yourself, in what way could I shift or transmute this? And then write down that C or that core belief, who you are and how you experience the world through your highest self. So what is the most aligned version? What is the most intentional version? What is the truest center of who you are and how you experience the world? Now for the O, the opportunity to make the rules, set the tone, and curate the vibes. Asking yourself, what are my rules? What is the tone that I believe I get to live and experience my version of business or entrepreneurship or success or personal satisfaction or fulfillment? And then what are the vibes that I intend to exercise in my world? So for some of you, that might mean, for instance, when I talked about the early bird gets the worm, and then I showed you the shift into the well-rested bird gets to be successful in entrepreneurship, that was a shift for me. I was always encouraged to wake up super early and to work for really long hours. And my dad imprinted this belief that you have to work an extensive amount of time, you have to do back-breaking work, and you have to work really, really hard to be successful. And when I stepped into my role as a business owner, I wanted to shift that belief. I had the opportunity to make my own rule. And so my rule became, I fill my own cup, and that becomes supportive in my business. I would wake up a little bit later. I would expand on my morning practice. And so when I felt well rested, I was able to show up for my business above and beyond. The work that I offered was more impactful and more powerful. I remember to take each of the intentional steps that I am so focused on choosing when I'm putting work out there into the world. So I selected what my rule was. I set the tone for my intention, and then I really curated those vibes. I absolutely love the O in my core beliefs practice. Next, R is for rest, resistance, and reality. How does rest factor into your core belief structure? How does rejuvenation factor into your core belief structure? Are you replenishing your energy? Are you playing? Are you being creative? So like, how do each of those R's reflect into what you believe and how your core belief structure is? When you feel resistance, how does that get to work out for you in your business? So personally, I've transmuted resistance to be a flashlight to where there are areas of growth. So when I feel resistance, I get excited and I feel extreme gratitude for it, because that's an area of growth that I'm now focused on. I get to look at it and I get to process through it. I really, really appreciate resistance in my business because it creates the opportunity for me to do something different and feel it in a more aligned way. And then my last R is, what do you choose for your reality? If perception changes reality, and it 100% does, how do you choose to look at XYZ? How do you choose to look at your core beliefs, or look at your business, or look at success, or look at wealth, or look at impact, or the ripple effect? I ask myself all of those questions, and they are extremely important. That is the C and the O and the R for my core beliefs practice. Now for the E and my core beliefs practice. Edit, integrate, and experience. I encourage myself to make edits as I am called to. I allow myself the space for growth. I learn new things all the time. That's such a part of my personal practice, that I always want to be learning new things, trying new things, stepping into new arenas. And it's important for me and my business that I integrate them as I learn them. That might be an edit to my core beliefs, or the way I process, or even how I integrate or implement. And finally, experience. I put it into practice. I take an action step. I kick it out of the nest and witness whether or not it can fly or falls to the ground. Then I start all over. I'm in deep belief that healing is a spiral process. We get deeper into it, or we elevate into new levels all the time. So edit as it's needed, integrate, and then experience it in your reality. And then allow yourself the space to do it all over. So again, my core beliefs practice is really focused on the fact that as beings, and especially as entrepreneurs, or for those of us with the entrepreneurial soul, it's important to be aware of the rules and principles and beliefs that have shaped us and paint our perceptions. So when you are realigning your core beliefs, ask yourself and focus on these different areas. Center of who you are and how you experience the world. Seeing everything as an opportunity for you to make the rules, set the tone, and curate the vibes. All about rest, resistance, reality, rejuvenation, and replenishment, and seeing resistance as an opportunity. And then edit, integrate, and experience. I really hope that this additional bonus serves you and really helps to not only identify a bunch of limiting beliefs, because a lot of them are in our core belief structure, but that you are able to set the tone for what you believe in and really follow in an aligned way and build out yourself and your business in a way that really, really serves you. I am so excited that you guys are taking this journey with me. I'm really, really stoked to hear how this implementation process goes for you. So I encourage you to take the one specific limiting belief that you guys identified in our earlier steps and really start to work this process with it. If you have questions, please, please, please utilize the R&R private Facebook group. You guys can tag me, you can post pictures, we can get a thread going for all of you. I am so excited to hear all about the progress that you guys are each making on your limiting beliefs, and stay tuned for video number 4.